Meanwhile, in the Goblin Forest, Mary James Watson is screaming for help. He then asks the huntsman why is he doing this, in which the villain gladly answers through a melody song. He describes all living creatures and all man-made tools has their purpose, that is why the huntsman must hunt. From the biggest beast to the smallest runts, the huntsman will always hunt. After that, he is now getting impatient because the spinstress is way too late. Out of nowhere, he receives a kick from the mysterious hero herself. Then the boy is happy he can now head home after hearing such an awful song. Craven is really getting annoyed by the web holding him, as he is also as confused on who the heck is the girl. She explains to him that she's the spinstress herself, but the villain just mocks him for being tiny with her squishy little toy spider. He only wishes to hunt the one who defeated the octopus and the queen. A green smoke appears out of nowhere and a mysterious voice was heard inside the room. It was Norma all along, as Petra pleaded to her because her mom needs help. But the fairy godmother refuses. She's still mad about the crystal orb not getting returned. The hero explains, it's because she got stuck in the Spider-Verse before. She just shows her the shattered pieces and Norma says that she will fix it. Oddly enough, this delightens the fairy godmother as the orb is filled now with malice and dark vengeance. She is planning all along to use its dark powers to rule the kingdom. That surprises the girl after hearing it. Norma then releases the huntsman who is working with her this entire time, and attacks the spinstress right away. The girl thought that her godmother is on her side, and reveals that she is also her mom. The different persona of her mother explains that the orb requires a pinch of vengeance, for it is a goblin's jewel that tends to bring out the worst in humans who touch it. Unfortunately, she has to use her mother to do it because there's an annoying spell that keeps her out of the castle. Craven is still attacking the hero, but she is doing well avoiding him. Meanwhile, Webster is doing his part, which is saving the helpless boy. Norma reminded her that once she fulfilled the contract, the huntsman will eliminate her, adding she should read the fine print. As she got distracted, the villain finally hit the hero, but the tough princess counter-attacks with her web shooter. Craven is also a tough cookie himself, and with his pet vulture named Adrian, nothing can stop their onslaught. Petra doesn't get it on why would he named his monster Adrian, when Raven would have rhymed with his name. The huntsman tells her that his pet needs to eat now and the princess looks like the perfect dish. He almost wins the fight but then comes along to the rescue Webster, and Petra's sidekick Mary James Watson. The hero uses this opportunity to pick up Craven's weapon and both hit the villain and his giant bird at the same time. She then approaches her rescuer as James tells her they make the perfect team. But they were suddenly interrupted by Norma, who is still watching nearby. Petra tries to attack her, but the fairy godmother is confident that it will not hurt because she's the one who gave her the powers. But it was a trick. She was aiming for the crystal orb all along and then passes it to James. This scares the enemy, for it might break in his hands, as the hero says she can have it, if she can make her mother wake up again. With no other choice, she did it with one snap of her fingers, but the boy made a bold action decision to just break the orb rather than being handed to an evil witch like Norma. After that, the place is now getting destroyed as the heroes are escaping immediately and the villain shouts that this is not the end. Later, Petra apologizes for all the troubles the boy is experiencing because of her, but James answers that it excites him being with her and always looking forward spending time together. But the hero must bid him goodbye for now, to check on the queen, and the boy understands. She shoots her web up in the sky, and with her comrade Webster, she thought maybe her powers is not a curse after all. Morning comes and she finds her mother finally awake. Petra gives her mom a tight embrace. They both tear up for this happy reunion. They now see the beautiful sunrise and very thankful for that moment. Unfortunately, it's the opposite of what's happening right now on James, as the malice that seeps out of the orb is now consuming him. A moment later, he fully transforms as the Venom in this multiverse. It's a rainy night on Earth 2410. Dark times engulf this multiverse as the world is full of plague, famine and war. A very remote village called Queen's Redwood had been luckily spared from everything going on, and so the village council had decided a very strict policy. That is to separate themselves from outside the town. Anyone who disobeys will fully face an exile. So as much as possible, residents are very hostile to people they are not familiar with in order to protect themselves. A beggar calling herself Mother is begging every house for food and shelter, but no one would like to help the old woman. Everyone in town seems to be doing the same thing, so she decided to bite her hand. After some times, the water developed a strange odor and a briny taste, but people still drink from it. Months passed by as 10 children were born, and 10 children were buried. It is rumored that all of them are in the form of inhuman monster, or at least that's what everyone believes. At a dead of a night, a pregnant woman named Mari is in labor but didn't inform her husband. She goes into the barn alone, and gives birth to the baby by herself while swallowing her scream. As a mother, her instinct tells her that the child's life depends on her secrecy, and then delivered a child with 4 spider limbs at the back of it. She got scared at first, but since it is hers, it gave way to a profound love. The mother holds her child tightly and promises herself that no one will take him away from her. The day after, she presented to her husband a remain of a butchered hen, and the confused husband just had a glance of it before holding her close. She made a decision that she needed time to process it, which explains her long walks to the woods every day, and the husband never questioned her. Still, the worried husband warns her about the lurking danger because the world grew more dangerous. 15 years later, a pack of savage men are on the hunt, smelling and tracking the smoke in the air. As she now ventures the woods alone like her usual routine, she then scents something, and that something shoots a web on her elbow, snagging the basket of foods she is carrying. It was all along her son she named Petor, now hanging upside down while her mother is nagging at him. Her only child grew up far from the hunting grounds, now complimenting his mom's good cooking. He wonders what's with the extra food that day, and she replies it's because tonight is the festival of the 3 moons. But their short meetings must come to an end, as the dedicated mother must return home before dark. Before leaving, she promises that she will stay longer by tomorrow. The festival comes, and it's the brightest night of the year. At the same time, the savage men invades the peaceful village, and the residents are helpless before them. Little did they know, the young hero is nearby and is very aware of what they are doing. As the bandit is about to strike, he shoots his web to his weapon. Coming from above like a blessing of the moon, he called himself the Sky Spider, saving the hometown that rejected someone like him. After rescuing everyone, he is shocked witnessing his unconscious mother on the ground. He tries to approach her, but an angry man pushes him away. Seeing now his father, he so wanted to tell the truth about his identity. But he can't stand seeing to lose 2 parents in one night, so he turned around back to the forest where he thinks he truly belongs. Back on original Earth, New York, it seems there is a new Spider-Man in the city just jumping around, and he's not shooting any webs, so some people think that he's a human flea or something. That comment hurt his feelings, and not just them, all the spider heroes may have forgotten that Spider-Boy ever existed. He remembers when he got bitten 3 years ago. Since then he's been building his rep. This didn't discourage the boy from getting recognized again as a webless spider hero, and then takes off his mask, revealing a red-headed kid. After he got erased and brought back again, strangely all of his stuff is still there in his bug pack. Now using his phone, he wonders of how long he's been gone, since he can't make any regular calls. Oddly enough, the battery is still full, and the calendar says he's been gone just a few days. All of his apps and messages are also there, and yet he can't make any calls, which is very weird to him. He put away his phone for now and plans to meet someone who knows him instead. He now sees his Aunt May saying goodbye to someone, and then swoops in to approach her. But here, it seems that the old lady doesn't know him and asks him if he's one of many friends of Peter, her nephew. The boy introduces himself as Bailey, knowing that his aunt remembers him. He failed doing so, as she doesn't really know him as he claims to be, and just offers her help to call someone. As she turns around, the kid is no longer to be found in the street. Next, he decides to go to a nearby shelter, knowing that people there will know him. He didn't expect that everyone also there doesn't recognize him. Then he tells her that he's just going to grab his stuff and leave right away. While unlocking the padlock, he is worried that he got nowhere else to go. After opening the locker, all of his things are gone, the stickers he put up, and even his mom's picture, as if he was never here. He got mad at that moment, and thinks real hard that there must be a person that still knows him. Then he just remembers something, about some girl who has a key that linked to Mr. Negative and his goons. Jolene, on the other hand, is looking for the boy she just saw wandering the shelter, and the kid blames his spidey sense for sensing that kind of help. Subscribe to watch more videos like this. See you on the next one.